Alright, we've got this Dev Insights, the Final Shape Armor Tuning Preview. Um, so, subclass matching Prismatic and you. Basically now, it's going to be based, any exotic that requires an elemental thing for exotic armor will now work based on your super for Prismatic, not anything else. Unless it's specific to like grenades or something or another ability. It basically ties to whatever ability you're using. If it's supers or something, then it'll be whatever element your super is, so it'll match that way so you can run other things as well, so you don't have to run all the same thing. That's how they're making it more balanced, so that way you can use, like, sun bracers on Prismatic, basically. But yeah, so, obviously, there's different changes. They said there's a whole bunch of changes. There's not a ton here that are that important. I do think Dragon Shadow's an intriguing thing that they're making it work on Ensnaring Slam and Ascension Arc Aspect, which is the new one. I think that's an intriguing thing. The Triton Vice, I don't even know if anyone uses this. I always thought it was a cool thing, but because of its limitations, it wasn't worth using, but now it might be. It is the Glaive Gauntlets for the Hunter. It allows your Glaive to do more damage. So, Glaive Projectile Final Blows now always trigger a detonation that matches the Glaive's damage type, even when the Glaive does not match the equipped subclass. Amazing. The surrounded effect provided by Triton Vice while wielding a glaive now lingers on the player for 5 seconds after no longer being surrounded. So, basically, this is like, it's got Symphoceps now, basically, for glaives, though, unfortunately, I wish it was for melee as well, but unfortunately it's only for glaives. But then you also have, the glaive explosive will just detonate anything when it kills something now, which is amazing. I'm glad they did this, because personally I thought it was a decent thing for PvE, but because it was too issue-matic, it was not worth it, so now it is actually might be worth it, potentially, especially if the Arc Glaive, so I'm intrigued by this. I can't wait to try this out in the Arc Exotic Glaive. We got Foe Tracer, which are just matching it now, making it different, so it no longer has to match your subclass, so it's just a weapon that matches any of your abilities. If you hit some ability that matches that element of your weapon, then you get increased damage on that weapon, basically. So if I use my grenade, and like let's say a strand grenade, and I have a strand weapon on, then will match. If I get a kill with that melee, or that strand grenade, my strand weapon will get more damage. But if I use like a solar melee and I have a solar weapon, it will get more damage. Basically, it just makes it more pinpoint, if that makes much sense. It's a lot better in design, in my opinion, so I like that a lot. Renewal Grass, which is absolutely getting a buff, which is insane, but also nowhere near as good as the Warlocks, which we'll get onto in a minute. But Renewal Grasp now, on entering your Dustfield Grenade volume, you or your allies gain a stack of Frost Armor, which is nice. I like that. About every 0.9 seconds, an additional stack of Frost Armor is granted, resetting your timer. I believe it lasts for 4 or 5 seconds, maybe a little longer. I could be wrong about that. Maybe a little less. I can't remember exactly for Dustfield. I haven't used it in a while, but so you get basically max stacks nearly, if not max stacks of Frost Armor, which is pretty insane. Star Eater Scales is getting nerfed to shit. Fuck me. Increase the orbs of power required to grant maximum benefits from 4 to 6. Okay, it was at 5 at one point, or at 6 at one point previously, and that's why it got sent back to 4, and it was a bug, or it was 8 or something. Like, it should have been, I could have been okay with 5, but 6 is ridiculous. People are like, oh, but orbs are so easy to get. Yeah, if your team is smart, orbs are super easy to get, but you know how many times I've played raids and stuff, and nobody creates orbs but me? And I'm not going to run out there and go pick up my orbs in the middle of where all the ads spawn, because those orbs for my teammates spawn on me, but for me spawn over there, which means I need them to create orbs to spawn on them so I can pick them up. So, I don't like this. Personally, no. 5 maybe I could have been okay with, but no. And then, especially after this is going to be in play, like, this is just stupid. Reduce the increased super energy gain per orb of power when the golden gun is equipped from 2% down to 0.5%. That means if you create orbs of power with Star Eater Scales on, with a Goldie, they're going to be useless. They're going to be useless to even pick up. They're not going to do shit for you for super energy. 0.5% is nothing. That is trash. Trash. That's what I'm just saying. So, and also for the exotic class items we had a while back, people were right when they said the Void Aspect, Unbreakable will be part of Ursa Furiosa now, which it was called the Bear in the thing, and that's why I was like, why is it called that? And it appears it is going to be it, which You're correct by that. I'm still believe I'm right about that air dodge. We still have 3 exotics we know their names of now, but we have no clue what they do. I'm still hoping for one of them, or I'm hoping its exotic weapon could give us air dodge. That'd be really cool too. That's just my opinion on it. But we'll see, obviously. We'll have to wait to see it to find out. But that's okay. Not that worried. But you are right. For those that called it, you were right. They are changing Ursa Furiosa. I did admit it could be possible. I didn't believe it would be, but it could be. And I was wrong. It was definitely possible, so I accept that. But yeah, Ursa Furiosa now provides increased movement speed while guarding with Unbreakable. Also grants super energy for guarding with Unbreakable. This energy scales based on the amount of incoming damage the shield absorbs. So in PvP, it might not be that good, because if people are smart, they just won't shoot it. They'll run away from it. Unless they have a super, maybe. But in PvE, got a whole bunch of ads coming at you. Pop that, defend yourself, take a whole bunch of damage, and just, boom, super. Could be pretty broken. We'll see. Hopefully it's got a maximum of 50% like everything else that gives you super. So hopefully it doesn't give you past that. But we'll see. We'll see. Eternal Warrior no longer requires an arc subclass for arc final blows to grant its escalating arc weapon damage bonus. This allows it to synergize with prismatic builds more easily. Its behavior related to Fist of Havocs is unchanged. Armentarium's getting a buff. It now will create Orbs of Power. Oh yeah, so will Dragon. Where is it? Six Coyote also creates orbs now on a dodge, and then for Titan, Armentarium will create orbs on a kill, right? For grenade or something? Yeah, it creates orb power from grenade final blows, so that's kind of cool. As long as you get 2 grenades, and you can get, because you can chain them if you use them right in the right exotics and stuff, then you can chain it. Or not exotics, sorry, perks and stuff, you can chain them. So you have tons of grenades, and now you get free orb generation for everyone, so that's kind of cool. I don't know what Bungie was smoking for this next one, but Capri's Horn was feeling lackluster in many situations, so it increased the potency of its solar blast. Bungie, maybe in PvE, because I can't atone for that, like, I can't even talk about that, but in PvP, this damn thing is the nuisance of society, especially if suspend. This thing is so fucking annoying. They thought to buff it. Increase the damage from the solar blast by 100% PV. That's crazy. I don't know what that's going to do. But yeah, the solar blast now scorches each time it hits a target instead of scorching only once. Capri's Horn now benefits from Ember of Eruption and Ember of Ashes. Plus 30 scorch in PvE and plus 15 scorch in PvP. Bungie, what the fuck? This thing doesn't need a buff, okay? Not in PvP, period. At all. That thing's so annoying, but whatever. Heart of Inmost Light, they just made it where it's more centered in one spot, so currently there's like 2 to 3 effects you can have up at your screen and just take over the entire ability section or effects section. Now they're just making it go down to one single thing, a single line, so that way it doesn't cluster everything up anymore. But it's still the same exotic, hasn't changed, so it doesn't matter. Symphoseps reduce the amount of time the bionic enhancement lingers after no longer being surrounded from 8 seconds to 5 seconds. Not gonna make much of a difference. This duration is now visible as a timer on the buff. I think that's cool. I'm glad they finally did that, because that shit was annoying. It's always nice to have that. Surveillance Enclosure. Its explosions now require line of sight to damage enemies. We also reduce the knockback intensity of these explosions, which will now launch enemies more consistently vertically. Basically, currently, if you got an explosive kill, it would blow up and hit something behind a wall or hit around a corner and just, like, chain everything like crazy. It was crazy. But now they're actually making its line of sight of the explosion, so that way it can't hit between the walls. If there's a wall in the way, it won't go through the wall. Which is a balanced thing, and that should have been a thing anyways, because that was dumb that even happened, but yeah. Here comes Warlocks. I got some crazy upgrades, so let's talk about this. Well, one specific. The rest, I may. Mantle of Battle Harmony now grants super energy ranging between 1.5% and 4.5% depending on the target type killed. You're going to do a 2-second cooldown for the perk's activation. Basically, it means you can get a shit ton of super really fucking quick. And it doesn't seem to have a cap, like every other super thing has a cap. Kinda dumb, Bungie. Should cap out. Just saying, but whatever. Baldor's Wrath Weavers, can't say that right. Activating your Rift grants you and nearby allies the maximum Frost armor stacks when Frost Pulse is equipped. Okay, I want this apparent, and I want this apparent right here and now. The Hunter has a grenade that will give you Tier 1 Frost stacks, Tier 1, and every 0.9 seconds increases it by 1 stack. Whereas, by the way, that requires your fucking grenade, And this requires a rift, which is way easier to get. In the long run, it is way easier to get your rift back, because you're only going to use it in specific situations. And yeah, technically you can get your grenade back quick, special on stasis. I know, I don't want to hear it. But a rift, what the fuck? You know how easy warlocks get rifts? You kidding me? And that thing's already toxic as fuck because it fucking freezes everything in the area. So not only do you freeze somebody if you fucking pop it on, you now get fucking frost pulse, or frost armor, at maximum fucking stacks, and it gives it to your allies, which is insane. And we're not fully sure how insane it is yet in PvP, but I have a feeling you might be able to survive 3 headshots from a 140 if you've got max stacks. So yeah, Bungie, what the fuck we smoking? 1 stack like everything else, and then it can increase every 0.9 seconds like the grenade, because the rift lasts longer than the grenade does. Fucking hell, or maybe they last the same amount of time, actually I think they do, but whatever, shut up, okay? It's still, what the fuck, no, okay? Activating your Winter Wrath's Shatter attack grants nearby allies the maximum amount of stacks of Frost Armor. When your Winter's Wrath ends, you gain maximum stacks of Frost Armor. So now if you do the Shockwave Pulse with the Super, you now give everyone max stacks as well that's in the range, which is a pretty big fucking range. And now when you end, you get Frost Armor too. So now you can pop your Rift, pop your Super, Shockwave your Super, kill everyone, and you're gonna be invincible! Fuck me, Bungie, what? Excuse my voice, excuse my fucking voice dying, but what the fuck? A ceasonant filaments? I don't know what the fuck that is. Empowering Rift will now reset a player's existing devoured buff duration back to 11 seconds when they enter it in addition to its previous period. I guess that's cool. It's not really too broken. It could be annoying in Crucible a bit, but it's not too broken. It's rarely used. I doubt people are going to start using it when fucking Stasis and Well is still broken, but okay. Whatever. Variety's Brow now requires final bullets with a weapon matching your grenade damage type instead of one matching your equipped subclass. This better supports it using it on the prismatic subclass. See, that's awesome. I like how that is. Makes sense. Sun Bracers have seen quite a bit of time in the sun this season, so they're reducing the increased solar grenade duration from 4 seconds to 2 seconds, so it just gets 2 extra seconds. I think that's fine. It's not too big of a deal. Reduce its increased grenade recharge rate to allow a max of 4 grenades while the effective is active, down from 5. I think what they need to do is make it based on your stats. And they need to make it based on a special exotic perk. So if you get more kills, it increases the timer. So the solar duration gets a kill, it increases it. You know what I mean? But it's just that specific grenade increases by 1 per grenade. So every grenade increase, it has 1 increase a second instead of like this 4 to 2 thing. Just make it 1 extra second per grenade. But that way they're all getting it when they get kills and increases it by 1 second. But it has a maximum stack of the 2 seconds. So that way it'll actually like be more ad clear related. But then also where you can get more than 5 if you have the right build with certain effects that affect it. But then if you don't, 4 is like the minimal. I think that's how it should be. I think they need to balance that out right. Like that. I think that'd be a lot better. Scintigraph Mask on a single target. It resulted in far more heavy ammo than was healthy for the sandbox. Sorry, when multiple warlocks used Cenotaph Mask. I didn't know this was a bug. I've been using that shit. I've had other people use it. I had no clue you could get more ammo to spawn. Right? I'm telling you all this right now. If you've got warlocks on your team and you're doing Pantheon, make multiple of them put on a trace rifle and multiple of them put on Scintigraph Mask and have them all shoot the same guy to create a ton of ammo for all of y'all. If you're having any type of ammo heavy issues, do that. Do it now, because holy shit, this bug is broken. I didn't know it existed. I'm totally going to try to abuse it while Pantheon's up, because that's kind of crazy. So they just fixed it. Multiple players using Cenotaph Mask can no longer trigger its effect using a single enemy target. That's what they'll fix for Final Shape. Makes sense, obviously, because that's kind of broken, I agree. But abuse it while you can, because you got a week and a half left. So go do it quick. Centigraph's target lock visual marker is now hidden for the exact wearer and only appears to the wearer's allies. I don't know why that is. That's kind of dumb, but whatever. Powered melee and armor effects. Just they're making it more obvious. So Severance Enclosure and Assassin's Cowl will only trigger their effects on actual charged melees now, and not if it's a extra one. It has to be actual charged melee. And then a finisher or a finisher. So yeah, they're just making it where it's not where you can do a normal melee and then every melee after that, like a powered melee and every melee after that gives you it, because they both activate. So it's a better design. That's all. It's a better design. Just it makes it more obvious. Exotic artifice upgrades. This is the best thing they've ever fucking done in this game. Because honestly, artifice armor should have been exotic first, and then made legendary armor that you go farm for. The fact they did this shit out of order was so dumb, and I'm so glad at least they're finally doing something about it. Exotic armor can now be upgraded after it has been fully masterworked, granting an artifice mod slot. That is insane. This comes at the cost of an exotic cipher and 10,000 learner. Fuck it, dude. I don't care. I'll do it. Because this is what I was worried about for the exotic class items, was because, right, I have the fucking cloak for my hunter and all my characters, and if the exotic class item takes that over, well, you know, I'm gonna lose 3 stats. So now I can masterwork it, get 3 stats back, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, mind you, it's only gonna be used in PvE because their PvP rolls sucked on those exotic class items. For all but one place. One character, I don't remember which one, had really good PvP. The rest were dog shit, and it depresses me, so, yeah. Ammo finder update, so they're just making it where if you die, which I didn't know this was a thing, but currently if you die, your ammo finder resets. And if you kept dying constantly, you get screwed, so it sucks. I didn't know this was a thing. This would explain why sometimes you create a ton of ammo, and sometimes you don't create shit. So they're just making it now it's consistent, so if you die, it still continues the progress of having a chance to drop the ammo. It's a percentage thing. If it doesn't drop within so many, it guarantees it at some point, or basically guarantees it, or something like that. Raid armor mods, they're making it where they don't take any energy slot now, but they're still only on raid armor, which they should have mentioned here. It's still on raid armor, so it's pointless. Most of the raid armor doesn't drop shit for good rolls, and once in a while if you get lucky, cool, but most people don't. So yeah, I don't bother with that, so... Yeah, some of the mods do help with some of the mechanics for certain raids, but the rest are kind of pointless anyways. They don't really matter in the long run. So, more of a day one thing, and that's about it. That's everything in the update. So yeah, that's the armor changes and stuff. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Obviously, I'm more excited about anything about the exotic artifice upgrades. That's the best thing there is on this, in my opinion. So let's go. But that's the video for this. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment what you think. Tell me what you think about these changes. Do you think any of them are worth a shit? Do you have a favorite you like or anything? Let me know. Y'all have a good day. We out. Adios.